last 24 hours, we have not heard a word from the Ministry of External Affairs on this matter. But Sushant Sareen, and probably they will be asked a question in tomorrow's press conference, probably they will respond. I want to ask you very quickly, what are the one or two things at this point of time that the Indian government can actually do? अब हम उनके साथ जंग तो कर नहीं सकते हैं. You know, we have just ended a 4-year standoff. Things have come to a point that at least our direct flights have started with them. The Kailash Mansarovar Yatra has started with them. So there is a certain degree of thaw in the relationship. I will not call it a normalization. But what is it that India can do? What is the reciprocal action or provocation that India needs to do right now?
Okay, Shreya, a couple of things, and very quickly. One, I don't disagree what Ms. Paul is saying, that yes, of course, it's the right of the opposition to, ask questions, even target the government. But like I said, I'm not denying them that right, but they should target China more than they target their own government on an issue like this. Secondly, I think Ms. Paul herself agreed that when she's talking about strong action, she's not talking about military action or something else, some diplomatic action. Now, what constitutes strong diplomatic action? Depending on what has happened and what is the provocation, the government, when you issue a very strong démarche, that is seen as a very strong diplomatic action. Unless she has something else in mind and she wants us to do something else, then she should let us know. Thirdly, what exactly should we be doing now? I think look, I don't believe in this business of मैंने उसको बोल दिया, हमने उनको बता दिया, हमने ये
Kadi ninda. Essentially, you mean you don't believe in Kadi ninda?
That is, look, frankly speaking, it might satisfy the local crowd and, you might play well on the street. But that's not how sensible diplomacy is done. You don't just shoot your mouth off simply because you need to satisfy a local audience. So you will need to take action. And what action you can take is like what I said. There are measures that you can do to reciprocate the kind of actions that the Chinese have done. If supposing some Chinese is transiting from here, you can do something similar to him on one pretext or another. You can trust the genius of Indian bureaucrats, at least on this they are very good, that they can pick out something and, actually start challenging or throwing something back at the Chinese. So I think some of that can be done, should be done, needs to be done. But a statement will come, I would imagine. Definitely, I don't imagine that nobody will ask the spokesperson any question tomorrow. And the guy will say what he will. But if anybody expects कि माँ बहन की गाली देंगे तो वो नहीं देंगे.
वो नहीं होगी. Okay. So we will just rely on the wisdom of Indian officials to make the life of at least one Chinese citizen miserable when they are transiting India, so that the message is conveyed. Hopefully the message will be conveyed, but the message has not been conveyed since 1962, Sushant Sareen. So I don't know Chinese whether we will be able to breach that Chinese wall. But we'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much, Sushant Sareen. Thank you, Sujata Paul, for joining us. And Shazi Almi, thank you very much. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a break.